Hello guys, this is Kel from Monster Closet, aka K-Dizzle, and you're watching a little retro minute on the Retron. Now if you caught episode 2, you caught most of the info about this wonderful system. Some update features that are coming soon. I read a blog that there's going to be a 32X update, so we can play 32X games in the near future here. As you notice on the table, you may see some titles, similar titles you saw in episode 2, but I finally got some custom cases that came in and they look great. These are some of my favorite titles. Got Donkey Kong Country here, and they called it Super Donkey Kong Japan. And then we got Chrono Trigger, nice case, all Japanese, it's pretty cool. One of the best RPGs in my opinion. We got Mario Kart, as you saw in episode 2, part of the display. It plays very well in the Retron. Like I have a Super Nintendo, but it's an aftermarket system. Then we got Mario RPG, which, ironically enough, they had problems with this game. I don't know if it was the international version or the Japanese version. I think they were testing the international version. Had problems saving from console to cart. Well, if you don't know anything about the Retron by now, it has a save slot feature. So if you can't save any games to the cart, you can save it on an SD card. This is a fun game anyway. But what we're gonna go talk about today pretty much is the system itself. And if you haven't caught episode 2, the system, it's not cheap hardware. It's actually, like everybody else, I was a little sketchy about buying these aftermarket systems. But after I saw this one, I had to pick it up to see what what it was about. So I picked it up and I read the box, and it has HDMI for your current TVs, and it has an SD card port, so in case some of the older games, the battery save memory has ceased to exist. Nice feature to have. And not only that, as you can tell, I have Japanese titles, so you can translate as well. So I'm going to go over the controller here a little bit. The controller, once you buy one of these and you start playing with this controller, it starts to feel a little bit better. I bought this thing a couple months ago, and I'm starting to get used to the controller myself. So I mean, it's not a bad controller, and I really don't want to give a bad review on a controller that I didn't really give enough time for, but I actually gave some time, and it actually pans out. You got the Neo Geo style pocket stick on the side, and you got these 6 buttons over here. Perfect for games, fighting games like Killer Instinct, or I don't have a Super Street Fighter game here. I think my friend Rick does. Rick. Anyway, as far as that, as far as the controller, if you don't like any of the, controller itself, it's still got the ports on the side, so you can play your Super Nintendo games and your Sega controller game, whatever you want to play. But a neat feature with that is, if you prefer a Sega controller over any game, let's just say, you were one of those people like, man, if that game was on Sega and it came out on Super Nintendo, and I'll beat all you guys, on that controller because I'm good at that controller. Well, with this system, you can play a Super Nintendo game with a Sega style controller. And honestly, I've been playing Mario Kart with this controller because of the D-pad. We don't have these on the Super Nintendo controllers. I mean, this is a good controller too, but I mean, for racing, you gotta go with a deeper D-pad for retro, So, I plugged in the Sega controller. Yeah, there's no shoulder buttons like, on the Super Nintendo has shoulder buttons, but your Y and Z are your new shoulder buttons. That's what I figured out when I was playing around with it, and I was actually doing way better with this controller than a SNES controller in Mario Kart. But if you ever played me in Mario Kart, period, you know I'm not that hard of a guy. You're not going to beat me that easily. So that's what's cool about this, and you know, hopefully there will be an update pretty soon where we can play, you know, I mean, we can play Game Boy games on it as is, but two-player Game Boy games you can't play. Although I heard that if you got like a Super Game Boy game, you know, and put it in the Super Game Boy game that came out for the Super Game Boy, and you put it into the Game Boy slot on the Retron, you could play two-player games that were designed for the Super Game Boy. But you can't play a Game Boy Advance 2 players, or you can't play, you know, old Game Boy games that were 2 players. You know, I think it's just Super Game Boy games that were designed for that. But other than that, I mean, I have very little negative to talk about this system. I mean, like I said, I bought it a couple months ago, and I got all these titles, you know, for right now, and I'm planning on getting more. And there's a whole lot of titles that came out in Japan that was not released in the States, and you know, it's kind of a bummer because there's a lot of great games out there. So for all you retro gamers, this would be the perfect buy, you know, if you're looking to get retro about all your stuff. So price. Oh yeah. Rick's telling me. Go the price. The price, you can get it. I bought this one at FYE for $148. That's with tax, but you can go online, buy them used, you know, cheaper, or sometimes you can get them new. I've seen, as low as I've seen brand new was $125, and that was on eBay. So they come in 2 different colors. I obviously got the black one. The first one they came out with looked kind of similar to this color scheme of the Super Nintendo, but I wanted black, so you gotta go with black. You can't go wrong with black. It looks nice. It's, you know, it's just one color. I mean, the lettering's purple, but black and purple, also a good combination. So, but with all that said, you know, look for my next retro bits or retro minutes, whatever you want to call them, and I'll be reviewing some games, you know, and talking about some games. And you know, yeah, you guys see Super Nintendo games up here and some Game Boy titles. I do not have any my NES titles that are not currently with me right now, but it also plays that, and it also plays Sega games, which I don't have any Sega titles on hand right now. But this thing does wonders, and you will not be upset when you purchase this, because there's still stuff I'm learning about this system that, you know, that you just couldn't do before. So with that being said, I'm K Dizzle, aka, you know, Kel, whatever you want to call me, and we'll see you on the next Monstercast.